Let me start on a cynical note, which is that the longer somebody's been in their job, the more likely it is that they're incompetent. Because there's the Peter principle, which is that everybody rises to their level of incompetence. But I think what's very important, especially if an organization is a slightly larger one, is to build up a network of people who are at the same level as you, maybe half a level or one level higher, to interact with people who are at the same level as your boss. And obviously, you're not going to ask any of them whether your boss is incompetent. But as long as channels of communication are open, you get a way to calibrate your own impression of your boss. Because we all carry our own ego. And if a boss ticks us off, it's always easy to say he doesn't understand. And one needs to hold that in check. Self-esteem is very, very, very important. And I think we all need to value our self-esteem. But at the same time, it can lead us to think that everybody else is at fault. And I know that in the 2 or 3 years that I spent as a sales manager in Hindustan, which is a fairly high-pressure organization, that it was invaluable to me to calibrate my relationship with my boss against that which my peers had with the same boss, or my peers had with their own bosses, so as to get an understanding of whether I was falling short, or he was being too demanding, or I think what's even worse when it comes to a boss is when he or she is erratic. Because it's very important to be consistent as a boss and not get into a situation where one day you say that the person working under you is an absolute buffoon, and the next day, because he does something right, you praise him to the skies. I think those relationships have to work along fairly consistent lines. And to the extent that one is always evaluating one's boss and one's subordinate, that valuation should move very slowly. One shouldn't allow it to oscillate wildly, because that's horrible for both the individuals and, more importantly, for the relationship.